Hello, everybody. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful, fantabulous, and mystical day. I haven't posted a video in a while. The last video that I posted was about a week ago. I had made a video speaking specifically about, just stuff that I was interested in and just kind of doing things. But I did want to share something in particular that I've been working on within the past couple of days, which is the School of Archipelago. If anyone here is familiar with collective card game, then you guys will definitely enjoy this video. It's going to be about me talking about how I am going to create a new archetype in collective card game. Now, before we get started, my name is Emmanuel Aguilar, aka Mystic Fox 4. If you aren't familiar with me, feel free to check out the YouTube channel. I got Instagram, Twitter. You can DM me or you can do a lot of stuff. You can find out who I am on the internet. I'm pretty prevalent on the internet. I go around and do a lot of stuff. So I'm just an artist going around doing stuff, and one of my interests and passions is card games. And so I wanted to use this kind of as a platform for me to just kind of have a little bit of fun. Um, and so let's get into it. So, School of Archipelago. So, what is the School of Archipelago, right? So, in collective, there's a kind of group of archetype, which is called the Seal of Elementary, which a good gentleman had created that I'm pretty good friends with. His name is Nitromelon. I believe that's who created the group, but they have a separate Discord channel that I'll link down below so that you guys can feel free to join, or I'll try to get my friend to comment it down below because I'm not the owner of the Discord, so I don't know if they will let me do the same thing. So I really like the archetype of the school Seal of Elementary because it was about wizards and casting spells and being cool and magic. And if you're familiar with the channel, you'll know that I really enjoy magic. I like fantasy type settings and all of that jazz. And so what I figured I would do is I would make an archetype that's kind of born in this world, and it's called the School of Archipelago. Now, what is Archapello? So the picture you see in the background, the artwork is by Arseny Chebionik. He is, I believe that's how you say the name. Apologies if it's not. And if you have seen his artwork, go ahead and comment down below and just spam me like, "Yo, this guy's lit. I like this guy too." But essentially the artwork that I have here in the background is kind of the school and like the realm that it's based in. The school is detached from a lot of the other part of the world, which is the Seal of Elementary. And it's a school that only allows people who have magical prowess in. So here's a little bit of lore. I'm gonna read it over to you guys just so you guys can get like a general feeling for the setting, and then I'm gonna go into a little bit of what I'm gonna be doing. So it says, once the events of Seal of Elementary were concluded, and the sisters were locked away from all, and the sister was locked away for all of eternity. A little bit of backstory. In Seal of Elementary, there was a sister who was being extra bad trying to get all of the artifacts, which essentially were very powerful items that kind of attuned to each one of the magical princesses. She became bad and she tried to have evil things happen, but she was locked away, is essentially the key of the story. And it says the Archmages decided to make a decision whether to lock their lands away from the rest of the world to seal away the power of the artifacts, or to teach the new generations about magic to ensure the overtake of Archipello managed for the better of all living things within this realm. So, if you're not familiar with collective takes characters and beings from different worlds, and it's like a portal to like a world that's connected to a bunch of other worlds. Um, and in collective, the card game, a lot of the characters that you see in the game are actually from different worlds, but they collide in what's called the collective, and they fight there, or they live there. And so a lot of the cards are based around that concept, and I really enjoy it. So this is the backstory of the Archipelago world, or I should say the Seal of Elementary world, because this happens after the first season, which is Seal of Elementary. So they're deciding whether or not to seal the world away, like the school, from everyone else, and essentially creating an interdimensional pocket so that nobody can really get to them, or to teach all other magic users everything they know so that they can, propel the life of magic and its use. Um, and the tribunal decided on allowing each sister that was not incarcerated to help teach more people interested in learning magic and help them to develop their magical skills. This would further develop their magical abilities, making it so that if and when the evil sister, aka Rikti, were to escape from the jail that she was put into, her slumber, she would be dealt with relatively quickly because of the advancement of the development of the magic from everybody, that the magic that everybody had essentially created is what I'm trying to say. Because it had advanced and she hadn't been a part of that, so she doesn't understand how it all works. And then thus the tribunal decided on opening the School of Archapello. The headmaster, one of the sisters, was tasked with overseeing the school and its functionality to ensure the development of the sisters is healthy and development of the students, is healthy and maintains the peace. The headmaster appointed instructor whom she trusted to create the new future of magic, taking one person from each practice of magic in the world. So there's three different types of magic at the current moment, but there's going to be a slew of magic that evolves because in this world, each person takes whatever they enjoy and they figure out how to integrate magic into it. And when you do that, magic in this world kind of creates anew, and it becomes a new type of magic, which you can become a professional at, or I say professional, but like you become very masterful of that. Um, and so um, they the headmaster appointed instructors whom she trusted to create the new future of magic, taking one person from each practice of magic, listed as destruction, conjuration, and alteration. The instructors appointed are Adora, Rain of Ash; Gora, Planter of Green Men, which in this world is actually a meme, but the Green Men part, if you aren't familiar, Green Men is a really funny meme. A friend made it, and it's just hilarious because of the way the cards work with each other, and they're just funny. They're just plant people essentially. If you get familiar with it on the Discord, you can go ahead and look more into that. I'm thinking of changing the name just because I don't know kind of what I'm going to do with that deck. Because each one of these schools is going to be a deck. And Boren, the Speaker of Truths. These individuals, although vastly different in approach to magic, can show insight to the world of magic to these newcomers and help them grow potentially more divinations of magic, which are kind of like the different strains of magic that I was talking about earlier. But a problem emerged. Portals open in the world of unknown origins, taking the three sisters and leaving the kingdom of um, Seal of Elementary. I mistyped. The kingdom of Archapello vulnerable. So the tribunal of archmages decided on having the prodigies of these teachers open a portal to these unknown lands using some of the new magic to retrieve the sisters and save the kingdom from collapsing. But even once the portals were open, they couldn't track the sisters because the magic of the realms was distorting their tracking magic. Because the magic that's kind of used in the world is all kind of fueled by all of the relics. So if the relics are gone, it throws everything out of whack. Hence why there's a giant mountain of ice water just kind of like, going really high, and things some stuff just doesn't really make sense, and some of the stuff isn't working the way it should work. Um and so from distorting tracking magic, the students propose that Rikti, the legendary, princess, go with them. This is the one that was incarcerated, because she would be able to track them since her sisters use the relics, and she also has a relic. The tribunals saw this as worst case scenario, but they quickly found out that it was the only option. When the sisters were sucked into the portals, so were the artifacts they carried. This threw off the magical structure, kind of like how I said earlier, and threw everything out of whack in the world. Not finding the sisters and bringing them back um, would be not only be detrimental for the kingdom, but for the entire world. And I call this a kingdom because it's an entire world, but it's this is a school. Um, and so the Archmages begrudgingly agreed to temporarily suspend Ricky's imprisonment to find her sisters with the condition that none of the students or teachers that go with them are lost or worse. Should be granted a pardon by the Archmages and freed from her imprisonment. And they embark on the journey to the unknown to see things that they couldn't have even imagined. So that's the lore of the School of Archapello, and it's a story about three different classes of students who are skilled in magic, go into the realm of collective and find either weapons or magic, different divinations of magic and things like that, to kind of fuel their magic from their world and save the princesses and bring them back. And so this is the archetype of Archapello. Now, speaking of three different divinations of magic, so we are going to be focusing on the divination of destruction. So the School of Destruction, and here is a quick little preview, right? So I'm going to be making another video on this, but basically I messed up. I had a lot of issues going into it, making a deck from scratch that would make sense and synergize and work well. Keep in mind, a lot of the cards in Collective, because of the way that it works in terms of getting cards into the game, because if you didn't know, in Collective, the players make the cards, right? So we're going to be delving into that in another video. But I figured I might as well let you guys know what we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about the School of Destruction and how it works. And we're going to find, we found a magic from Magic the Gathering that would work well in our first deck because it's pretty simple, it's self-explanatory, and it's easy to get the idea across, especially for new players that maybe aren't familiar with the game. So we're going to try to get those cards into the game, and that's going to be the fun of the video. So if you like the video, make sure you leave a thumbs up, comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of this video. Did you guys find it fun, entertaining, and or insightful? Did you guys like the lore of the story? What would you add to the lore of the story? And with that being said, everybody, don't forget to stay mystical.